A resurgent Wales make Ireland fight for the Triple Crown. My name's Mark, let's talk rugby. That was a really intense game, very entertaining as well. You know, my heart was racing a lot of the time, like going a million miles an hour at points during it, and just the way it was swinging backwards and forwards. And for me, you know, I'd rather a game like that. I think it's more entertaining to watch a game like that than one that maybe has, 8 or 9 tries in it, but there's always a gap between the teams of more than a score. But this one close for a lot of the game, and it really could have gone either way at the end as well. Wales, they win a penalty at the first scrum. Good start from them and Will Griff-John, and kind of showed that they're really up for this. And all the way through the game, even you might have expected they're going to drop off at some point. They never did. Kept that intensity up, and fair play to them, and fair play to Matt Sherratt as well, only having a week to prepare the team and be able to get that performance out of them. But then when Wales tried to move the ball, Ireland managed to counter. Conan then snaffled, and Ireland kick a 50-22. They move it, and James Lowe is stopped just short of the line. Wales concede a penalty for Faletau not rolling away. Ireland go to the corner. Byrne takes the line out at the back. Wales do well to sack them all immediately. Ireland then move it. Joe McCarthy with a great carry. Then James Gibson Park, a bit of a fumble, but recovers it, gives it to Conan, who rides a couple of tackles, going in between a couple of players and stretches out to ground one-handed. Prendergast converts for 7-0. Wales then work the ball to the edge of 22. They're much flatter in attack and far more incisive than they've been in the opening 2 games. But there's a tip clear out on Byrne, and Ireland are able to clear from the penalty. Then we have another scrum penalty to Wales, as that's really going well for them. And coming into this game as well, they had the best scrum stats in the tournament. So not really a surprise there that they were on top. Maybe how much they were on top was a little surprising, but they did have the best scrum coming in this, and I did flag it up as well in our preview. But when they go up the line, they go over the top from the line out, and it's Josh van der Fleer who gets the ball first. Ireland then kick into space. Wales find themselves and scrambling on their own line to clear, but they're able to get rid of it. Then Ireland come again. James Lowe looks to drift through a gap close to the line, but Wales do really well to force a knock on the tackle, and then they win a penalty at the resulting scrum. At the next scrum then, Ireland win their first penalty at the scrum, and they decide to point to the post. It's pretty straightforward, and Prendergast pops it over for 10-0. At the next scrum then, Ireland, we just did that. Sheehan then spills the ball just after restart. It was basically like a great take from Byrne, but when they move it, Sheehan spills it. Wales can't exploit the opportunity though, but Ireland were offside, so we come back for the penalty, and Scum then makes it 10-3. Wales now applying pressure. They attack off a line out on the short side. Rogers to Morgan. They're in behind, and they're right on the edge as well. Pass back inside to Williams, but he can't hold it. And if he did, that was a try. Nobody was catching him before he got over. Ireland's defence then pushing Wales back. They go to a kick. Lowe claims it and then puts in a nice kick that holds up just short of the try line. Blair Murray then does well. Lowe is following up, but he steps in, but then his kick is poor, and it gives an attacking opportunity to Ireland. Ireland then move it from there. They've got an overlap out on the left, but Osborne's pass very poor, and he can't find Gary Ringrose for what probably would have been a score in the corner. And just a little bit more composure, and Ireland kind of lacked composure today, which we're not used to seeing that from them. But that's credit to the pressure that Wales were putting on them. Wales then with a great counter ruck that forced a penalty on halfway. They go up the line, and, they've got a good attacking opportunity here. They go through the phase into 22. Couldn't get any closer to 15 meters, but they do have a penalty for Ringrose not rolling away. Then we have a TMO check for a head-on-head tackle. It's Ringrose as well on Thomas. He gets a yellow card, and that goes to review. And you're looking at it, you're thinking, okay, Thomas doesn't really dip going into the tackle, and it's head-on-head. Ringrose might be in a bit of trouble. Anscombe then makes it 10-6 from the tee. Wales ping for taking player off the ball, and Prendergast with a chance to put Ireland a converted try ahead, but his kick comes off the post and Wales are able to clear. Then another scrum penalty to Wales, and we have kind of a bout of pushing and shoving after that. Kind of, I think, a little bit of frustration on the Irish side showing there. Wales then up the line to about 10 metres out, chance to go in leading at the break. Faletau claims a line out. They set up the maul, they shear off, and Ireland in at the side, penalty advantage. Wales then go close through Morgan. They look to move it, but they're forced back, so we come back for the penalty, kick that into the corner, set up the maul. Ireland initially halted, but then the backs pile in, and they get go forward again, get close to that line, but they're battering away at the line. Ireland just about keeping them out, but eventually Morgan is able to force his way over close to the post, converted for 13 points to 10 at half time, and Wales just looking like completely transformed team at this stage. Then we find out during the halftime break that Gary Ringrose's yellow has been upgraded to a 20-minute red, and honestly seems like a fair call, because even when I saw it, I thought there's no real mitigation in that. Like, there's no sudden dip or change of direction or anything like that. There is a slip maybe from Ringrose, but yeah, I think overall, yeah, it was the right decision. Ireland then seem a little rushed. They win a penalty. Gibson Park goes quickly. No need for it. Like, you're already like trying, should be trying to run the clock down. Should have just gone up the line. And then when they move it from there, Prendergast drops the ball. Will Rowland scoops that up and carries, well to the edge of the 22. Wales then go left and back to the right. And Blair Murray then gets on the outside. He had a brilliant game, by the way, and puts Rogers away in the corner. Ireland's, not really helping themselves at this stage, I think. But acrobatic finish as well in the corner. Anscombe then misses the conversion, 18 points to 10, and it felt like a significant lead for Wales at that stage. Generally in a test match, anything over like a converted try, in a tight game like this can be very difficult to turn around. Ireland then, they go about trying to do that, work it into the 22 and win a penalty. Prendergast pops it over to 18-13 as they try and chip away at that lead. Wales then looking sharp in attack, keeping the ball alive really well. They're going for offloads just to make sure that Ireland can't get over the ball and slow them down. Finding half gaps as well, and you can see that they are stretching Irish defence, but Ireland crucially get over that ball and win a penalty. Bundy Aki then comes on to replace Gary Ringrose as like that 20-minute red card period is up. And if you don't know, like the 20-minute red card rule is that the player who's got the 20-minute red card, he's not allowed to come back on the field. So you're only allowed to replace him with another player. So that's why Aki come on and Ringrose didn't return to the field. Prendergast then kicks a brilliant 50-22 and Ireland back on the front foot. They move it from the line out to Sucky in defence, and Gibson Park cross kicks to Lowe right on the touchline. He gets up highest in the air, taps it back to Osborne, and he collects it and goes over to score. Prendergast then misses the conversion, and we're tied up at 18 all. Ireland's defence then, their pressure starting to cause errors from Wales now, as both teams are trying to up the intensity. Wales, though, they're beginning to come back now after a period of sustained pressure by Ireland, and they're stretching Ireland again playing very flat. Ellis Mee, another guy who had an excellent game with a great offload on the edge, but it doesn't quite go to hand. The game then swings back in Ireland's way as they move it into 22. Hansen goes over, but he's held up. Really great defence there from Blair Murray to make sure he couldn't get that ball down. Ireland then, they had penalty advantage, so Prendergast puts them back in front 21.8. We then have a team out check for a hit on Andrew Porter by Henry Thomas, but it's chest on head, and like Porter's carrying and he kind of stoops just before contact. So no fair play, absolutely no argument from me on that. I think the referee got a spot on again. Aki then gets over the ball as Wales were looking to move it again. Another penalty chance, and Prendergast nails the kick from halfway on an angle as well, 24.18, and like you put it over with plenty to spare as well. Prendergast then, as I said, kind of good and bad from him today. Kicks out in the full from a ball that was passed back into the 22. Wales with a chance to hit back. They're stressing the Ireland defence again as they're going to that width, and that's where they know, again, almost always against Ireland, the space is out at the, in the tram lines at the width, but they make it so hard to get it out there, and Wales are doing so well to do that. And they go left, they got numbers. Ellis Mee, he goes to the corner, decent, tackle, I think from Hansen right out there, and then Osborne with a covering tackle across as well, but still he almost gets there. And we have a Timo review. The on-field decisions actually try. So as an Ireland fan, you're kind of thinking this is very close. What's going to happen here? Because it has to be, it has to be clear for them to overrule that. Then, but you can see as they find the right angle that he hasn't gone into touch, so that's not a problem. But the problem is when he goes to ground the ball, he actually grounds it short, and then the ball goes forward, so he's actually knocked it on. But like tiny margins in that. But the team owned referee, they went through the process and they came to the right decision. I'm sure if you're Welsh, you're probably thinking, it's not the right decision, because I know myself, like, I try to be as, impartial as I possibly can be. But I know if I was watching that and let's say just completely reverse the position in terms of who's the one trying to score the try. So it was Ireland doing the same thing, I might be thinking as well, oh no, he still just about had his hand on the ball when it goes on the line. So it should have been given as a try. But honestly, I think that they probably did come up with the right call there. Then we have a 5 minutes to come to Ireland. So the danger hasn't passed because they've been under pressure in this, in the whole, all throughout the game. They have changed the front row though, and I think that really helped them in this one as well, because for the only time in the game, Ireland actually monster Wales in the scrum and win a penalty. And I think, showed real character there to produce that at a crucial time in the game. Wales then moving the ball in their own half. They're looking for, the one line break that could lead to that game-winning try. But Ireland's defence is pinning them back. And then Ireland managed to counter Wales and force them to give away a penalty. Prendergast then splits the posts for 27 points to 18. So the game at that stage is pretty much won. But Ireland win another breakdown penalty, and Prendergast's final kick at the post with the clock in the red comes off the post. Then Wales try to run it out from there, but it comes to nothing. 27 points to 18 is our full-time score. Okay, so let me see if we can have a look at the stats, because I tried to pull them up on the Six Nations website, but it was actually down. But I think they're back up now. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, stats are up. So let's have a look at the stats. So starting with possession, 57% of 43 for Wales, so plenty of the ball for them. And unlike in other games, actually did something with it. I talked about them before, having lots of the ball and just looking absolutely, blunt and terrible in attack, but much more incisive in this one. And then territory, 51-49, so more even, in that regard. Then on attacking minutes, 19.9 for Wales and 16.4 for Ireland. So obviously Ireland, more, clinical in terms of taking their points, when from the attacking minutes that they had. Tries scored though 2 each. So Wales, doing well there to tie that up. Carries 145 for Wales, 106 for Ireland, and meters gained 770 for Wales and 503 for Ireland. So Wales making, or like carrying lots of meters. Meters gained then 356 to 223. So very crucial, I think, there for Wales is that, actually making more meters than we've seen them in the past, because again, against Italy, against France, like they were standing so deep that the guy could carry for 5 meters. It was 2 passes out or something before he even gets back to the gain line from where the last ruck was. So, I think, just simple changes in their tactics really did help them. And you can see as well here, line breaks 7 for Wales, just 2 for Ireland, speaks about, again, improvement in Wales's, attack, but also the defense as well. Defenders beaten 32-12. And you look at that and you think, brilliant improvement for Wales, but also Ireland did well not to lose that game, having conceded, that many line breaks, compared to what they did themselves. Total pass then 250-157. Offloads 13-7. Again, Wales, looking to keep the ball alive, and I thought they did that well. And, they took risks that they weren't taking, when Gatlin was there as well. Some of them paid off, some of them didn't, but if you don't take the risk, there's going to be no reward for you at the end of it. Handling errors then 22 for Wales, 14 for Ireland. Again, when Ireland kind of ratcheted up the pressure in defence in the second half, they were forcing more errors. Turnovers conceded then 11 from Wales and 9 from Ireland. Breakdown really competitive. Okay, on to kicking then. Kicks and played, 24 for Wales and 37 for Ireland. So a lot more from Ireland in that one. And I think that 37 is up there with England. England have been the biggest kicking team in the competition. 24 is about kind of average, I'd say. Like normally you're seeing teams kicking 24 to kind of 27, 28, that kind of range, right? If you go over 30, you're up there with the kind of top kicking teams, and certainly well over 30 for Ireland. Kicking meters then 639 to 1,109. So Ireland getting a lot more out of their kicking than Wales did, and at times it really did help them out as well. On defence then, tackles made 131 to 173. 12 tackles missed for Wales and 32 for Ireland. 92% tackle success for Wales. Again, just showing, that massive improvement that they made on their defence. 84 for Ireland, it's actually pretty good. We've seen Ireland kind of in the high 70s, like 78 or so in one of the games already. And again, Ireland is about that scramble. So even though we saw, like with Wales, where a lot of players beaten, but, compared to, they did have more line breaks, but compared to how many defenders beaten they got, they didn't have as many line breaks as maybe you would have expected. And again, that comes back to that scramble defence from Ireland. On to discipline then, 12 penalties conceded for Ireland, or for England. What am I talking about? 12 penalties conceded by Wales and 11 for Ireland. But it felt like, as an Ireland fan watching it, felt like Ireland would concede more penalties. And I think, like, Ireland, when they start to turn it around, I think that's when that pressure was coming on, and that's the period that kind of won Ireland the game, I think, was just being able to get that much pressure. One free kick conceded by Wales. I think that was over-leaning on the scrum. Offensive penalties 6-4 and defensive penalties 6-7. No yellow cards for either team, and then that one red card, or 20-minute red card for Ringrose. Okay, on to the next one then. It's breakdown. So Rucks won 106-86. Rucks lost 6 for Wales and just 2 for Ireland. Ruck speeds, so 0 to 3 seconds, 64% for Wales, 57 for Ireland. 4 to 6, 23% to 28, and over 6 seconds, 14% to 15%. So Wales, I talked about it in my stats video as well. Generally, they've had the highest percentage of fast ball, which is at 0 to 3% in the other games. But because of the way they were attacking, it didn't matter. They weren't able to exploit it. But here, they were still able to get that quick ball, and more quick ball than Ireland. But they had an attacking system that could actually exploit it, and they exploited it very well, at times as well. So on to set piece then. Scrums won, 3 for Wales and 4 for Ireland. Scrums lost then, 1 for Wales, 2 for Ireland. Wales, dominant in the scrum for about the first 60 minutes or so, and then it swung back to Ireland, after the replacements come on in kind of the last quarter or so. Lionesses won then, 19 for Wales, 13 for Ireland. Lionesses lost, just 1 for Wales and 2 for Ireland. So Ireland not as bad as it felt kind of watching the game, but still, certainly not as good as they were in the opening game. Lioness steals them, 1 for Wales and none for Ireland. And then finally, so kicks at goal, 2 successful penalty kicks for Wales, 5 for Ireland. Missed penalties, none for Wales, 2 for Ireland. Successful conversions, 1 each, and 1 missed conversion each as well. No drop goal attempts in the game. Okay, so let's summarise then how each of the teams did. So Wales, first of all, hugely improved. And I think, it comes back to those who were saying, when Gatland was under pressure, there was a lot of people saying, no other coach is going to get any more from these players. It's all about the players. The quality of players aren't there, and Gatland is a great coach, and if he can't do anything with them, then nobody else can. I think that's already been proved wrong in this game. No matter what follow-up performance are going to be like, you could not see that performance coming from a Gatland Wales team in this Six Nations. So whatever happens in the future or not, you could have got more out of the players, is what I'm saying. Scrum was dominant until those replacements, and then line out was imperious. Maul looked good as well. Defense much better, far flatter in attack. They have that fastball again, but actually doing some with it, using more width. And just the speed of ball as well, moving the ball across the line. It looks so laboured in the first 2 games, and suddenly it's sharp, it's snappy. They're causing problems. They're getting onto weak shoulders. They're getting half gaps. They're offloading, etc. Looks so much better. Kicked well as well, and they competed. Probably Ireland, I think one area, certainly Ireland, probably on top, was probably that kicking area, but Wales weren't terrible kicking either. Almost snatched victory at the end there as well. Didn't get a losing bonus point, but this performance absolutely deserved one. It would have been nice. No, well, not for Ireland, obviously, in terms of the overall championship. But I think it would have been nice if it had got a try there at the end, just to get that losing bonus point. Because again, I think that performance absolutely deserved one. And now the record may have, stretched to 15 losses on the bounce, but that was the best performance in that sequence that they just produced. Yes, suddenly there's light at the end of the tunnel for this Wales team under Matt Sherratt, and then whoever actually takes over after the Six Nations again. Ireland had a good start, but even before Ringrose's card, it felt like they were creaking a little bit. Wales really were in the game. Scrum was a liability. Porter's problems returning again. Line out was inconsistent at crucial times. I think defense a little bit hesitant as well. Prendergast looked under pressure. I don't think he got enough protection from his teammates and kind of enough guidance as well. But he came through it, which was important. But they still managed to dig it out, and that's the really big thing for them, I think. And it might turn out, kind of to be the perfect preparation for France in 2 weeks' time. They got the Triple Crown secured now, but plenty to work on for that game. So they certainly shouldn't get caught cold against France. So overall, I'm happy with the win as an Ireland fan, but also very happy with the Wales performance, because I know what it's like to be a fan where you don't really have any belief, and suddenly, like, there's a ray of light there for you, something to kind of build on for your team, and things are looking up again. And hopefully that's how the Wales fans feel after this, because you have to be, I think, proud of the performance there, even if they didn't get the result that maybe you would have liked. But that's it from this one. Let me know what you think down in the comments.